Hey,
Hi, everybody.
welcome to the Jackbox Thursday stream.
Yeah. Hope your week is going well.
I'm trying to introduce myself.
Oh,
Warren.
well, no, go ahead.
I'm leaving.
Hope your week is going well.
Thank you. I'm Ryan.
I am Warren, back from vacation. So
yeah, how was your week last week? Allard was here sitting
good.
in for you.
Yeah. Thanks for doing that. It was very good. I went to Savannah, Georgia. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
You had a lot of crawfish, I think I learned.
A lot of crawfish, a lot of shrimp, a lot of catfish. Anything that lives in mud, I ate it. So yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's a good policy.
Even some homeless guy.
What? And you devoured him.
That's just the way it is in the South.
Yeah, I understand.
If once you get in the mud, you can be eaten. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good, well, at least the rules are clear.
Well, we just kind of make them up.
No,
so.
I see.
I think it's illegal now, but yeah. So.
But you got grandfathered in because you were an old
Exactly.
resident.
Yeah.
Tessie, last time, Tessie girl, often a chat member, seemed to transfer a lot of affection to Allard while you were gone.
Oh,
so
well.
Don't feel too,
well.
betrayed by it, but what? Don't murder yourself.
Hi, everyone in the chat. Welcome back. We have a very exciting stream today.
Yuxi, I love how you know us so well. Hello, everything is working. I know we're going to ask. Yes, we can hear you. Thank you. I'm sorry, go on.
Oh, no, that's all I had to say. So we should probably wrap this stream up.
Yep, okay. It's been great.
As many of you may know about Ryan and myself, we are big fans of Mystery Science Theater.
It's my favorite show of all time.
We were big backers on the Kickstarter, and so Tim Ryder's been on the stream before. I think with Arnie and Spencer.
So just a very funny local comedian, even before working on the new Mystery Science Theater.
So we were like, we really love to have him on. I can't talk today. I don't know what.
So let me tell you about it, everybody. Tim's great. He's been on Magic Tavern, a podcast that some of you guys know about, that I also work on, Arnie works on, and Evan works on. He's very, very funny, and he is, among being an improviser for Second City and other things, he is also a writer and actor on the new return to Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
So please welcome. Now I just have to turn his audio back on.
What? This is the way Johnny Carson used to it. Please welcome.
Welcome.
Let me click.
Tim Ryder. Hey, Tim.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for that dramatic pause.
Yep. What if we just never went to you and we just left? Please welcome.
Please welcome infinite amount of space. The universe descends into entropy.
Hi, Tim.
Nothing. Never happens.
No.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
I know we talked about it, but we talked about it a little bit the other day in our sort of little pre-interview, and then we had to stop ourselves because we were so interested we were wasting all the good material.
Exactly, yeah.
But do you want to give us the quick rundown as to how you started working on MST3K this year or last year?
Absolutely, yeah. We also had to stop because I was getting super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So, I appreciate it now that we can take that uncomfortability and just transfer it right into this segment.
Yeah. And also just feel free to be so open. None of this is all between us, so don't worry about it.
Oh, good. So I've been an improviser and sketch comedian and actor, writer all about town for about the past 10 years, working at places like Comedy Sports and IO and Second City and all this stuff, and have been a huge Mystery Science Theater fan for years and years since I was in high school. And my wife, Rebecca, is also a performer and a huge Mystery Science Theater fan herself. It was one of the few things that we had in common when we started dating in terms of media things that we both liked.
Look, we can agree on one thing.
We like different stuff, but we love Mystery Science Theater. And so this all happened, let me paint a picture, November 2013.
I'm there.
Take yourself back to where you were in that time.
It's like NPR.
Yeah. So I was understudying the Second City main stage at the time, and a friend of ours posted about an event that was happening at the Museum of Broadcast Communications on a Saturday. It was in a couple days, that Joel and Trace and Frank were going to do a panel discussion as part of the 25th anniversary celebration for Mystery Science Theater. Yeah. And so we decided to go and had a great time. The panel was excellent. It was myself and my wife, Rebecca, and Ross and his girlfriend, Nikki at the time, Ross Bryant, who's a Second City main stage alum. And we were going through the merchandise line and just still buzzing from the great panel. And we bought a DVD set and we're like, we're going to have him sign it. And I wonder if we could maybe get him to play the set. Because Second City has an improvised set after the end of each night. We're like, how can we get like Joel or Trace or Frank or all of them to come and play the set? Oh man, that'd be amazing. But how are we going to do it? And then we get up there, and before we can even say anything, Joel Hodgson looks at us and was like, "Oh, hey, I saw your show." and completely unbeknownst to us, had come to see our show the previous night, had seen the ETC show and the first act of the main stage
So first,
show.
That's incredible. Like, to meet someone who is your hero, and before you can say anything, they're like, "Oh, I'm a fan of your work." Like, that's insane.
Yeah, he's like, hey, these are the Second City guys I was telling you about. They're really funny.
That's amazing.
And then we just melted into a puddle on the floor.
Also, your impression of Joel is spot on.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've been working on that a lot, and it's the only line I can do.
Good. All right. Well, I was going to ask you to do the whole show as Joel Hodgson, but never mind.
I wish. And so he told us this whole story which kind of sums up Joel, of how he tried to call the box office and like scam some comps for himself, but had no idea how to do it. So he called one of his friends. I think he called Steve Higgins of the Tonight Show, and it was like, how do you get comps for stuff? And he called and like talked to the box office and talked to some poor person who didn't recognize his name, but he was just like, "Hi, I'm Joel Hodgson. I'm created Mystery Science Theater. I was hoping to see the shows tonight." And they're like, "Great, here, we can get you a ticket. Here's how much it'll be."
Yeah.
I love that.
So he just paid because he's so nice.
That's great.
He doesn't know how to be famous. Like, he's famous, but he's too nice to be famous.
Right.
Yeah.
He has no idea. So we made sure to get him in. He saw the rest of the main stage show that night. We made sure to get him in, and he's received plenty of comps since then.
Excellent. That seems to be that's the Minnesota feel, right? Of like, we're famous, but it's not a big deal. We don't really get it. It's fine.
That's a complete embodiment of the Midwestern aesthetic that I think I love so much about Mystery Science Theater. Is it's just some nice people making a fun show in a garage.
Yeah, totally. And
no one's getting too full of themselves about it, which I think a lot of people were worried that, filming it in Hollywood and packing it with guest stars would affect that feel. I don't think that it has.
No.
It's been great. Yeah.
It's really incredible how, like, there are things that are done on the new show that you necessarily couldn't do on the old show. Like, there's, it's obviously it's widescreen, it looks nicer. There's like a little bit more sort of practical effect stuff, but there's no CG. There's nothing big budget about it. It still feels like you could make it in your garage if you really tried. Just today with better stuff,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the total feel that Joel and everyone involved was trying to go for. That no one needs a CGI satellite of love. They want it to be made out of something they can replicate themselves. Right. And so that's what they did. And so let me see if I can make this long story short.
Go for
it. So that night we had dinner with Joel and a bunch of the Second City casts, and just got to know him. My wife sat next to him, and they talked about Minnesota things, this amusement park that they both went to, and we just kind of stayed in touch. When he came to Chicago, he would look us up when we'd have dinner, and he saw a show that I was on in the ETC when I did that. And we just became kind of his Chicago friends. Rebecca helped him at Wizard World one day when he needs someone to like help his booth and usher away nerds who stuck around too long. She did that. She's very good at it.
That's amazing.
And then around that time, he asked Rebecca if, he was trying to get Mystery Science Theater back, but wasn't sure that would ever happen, a lot of legal stuff. But if it ever did, would you and Tim maybe want to write? And she exploded.
Yeah.
And then
it's crazy.
Put her component atoms back together and said, yes, absolutely. And then told me, we both immediately forgot about it. Like, that'll never happen. He was just being nice.
Yeah.
What a nice thing. Yeah. Let's forget about it. Then he did the Kickstarter and raised a ton of money. And then he's like, hey, you guys want to write? And then a few months later, he's like, hey, you guys want to be characters? And a couple of months later, he's like, hey, Rebecca, you want to be Gypsy?
That's crazy. Yeah. Rebecca is actually the new voice of Gypsy. She's great.
Yeah. At each successive step, we were like, this isn't happening. This isn't real. And I honestly still am not entirely convinced that it is. It might be just an incredibly lucid dream that I'm still having.
Yeah, they're like, wake up, Tim. You're like on like a gurney somewhere.
Yeah. I'm just inside a young boy's snowboard.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You've lived an entire life in a span of a few minutes.
Mm-hmm. But it's been an incredible experience, and dream come true. It doesn't even begin to explain it.
Yeah.
It's been amazing, and just so nice to see that the people who love this show are just as amazing and talented and funny and nice people as you would hope them to be.
That's great. So awesome. Yeah. And if people haven't watched it, even if you haven't seen the old show, like, it's on Netflix, check it out. I honestly, as a longtime fan, we've talked about it, I was like, I'm legitimately worried about this.
Yeah.
Like, I hope it's really good. And it met and exceeded my expectations. It's a very, very good series.
Yeah, I've been nothing but impressed so far. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. It's been so great to hear from longtime fans that are like, this really, like, I was in the same boat. Like, I don't know if this is going to be good, but hearing from people that it's met their expectations, hearing from new people who've discovered it, and people keep tweeting pictures of them like watching with their kids and new people who've discovered it. It's just been really amazing. So I'm so glad that it's out there now and we can talk about it and people can watch and enjoy.
I think I saw a tweet where like some father tweeted like, today my son was like, Dad, can we watch that Moon 13 show again? And he was like, yes, son. Yes, we can.
We sure can, buddy. We can watch it as much as you want.
Well, let's keep chatting. Well, let's start up a game, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's play FitBitch 2, just because we haven't played it for a while. And we can also check out the chat here.
It's like
nothing. No, everyone is happy and supportive, but there aren't really any questions. Yeah. Although Mubot is plugging our Discord. Hey, Tessie. Tessie, I was saying that you cheated on Warren with Allard last week. Sorry. Let's get that. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm going to just hop in, and I'm also going to send Tim the code.
Tim, I'm sure it's hard to pick, but do you have a favorite of the new episodes?
Do you have a favorite between us? It's hard to pick, I know.
I'm going to go with the guy who didn't leave the South a crazy shambles of fire and cannibalism.
Me.
You don't know that about him, though.
Yeah, that's
you can't be sure of that.
That is
I
fair.
admit
it. We've actually been trying to pace ourselves, so we've made it through 13 of the 14 episodes.
Okay.
So I'm saying this with incomplete information.
Gotcha.
But I will say that as one of the episodes that we got to write on, and just how everything came together, Cry Wilderness is really just a pinnacle of achievement. I mean, my God, what a movie!
That is such a crazy movie. I love how it's a Bigfoot movie, but they're like, there's not a lot of Bigfoot. It's mostly about the pathos.
Let's use Bigfoot as a spice and not put too much in.
Like a bacon bits kind of situation.
Yeah. Oh, boy. We both got to write on that one. And Joel, this is a story from the writer's room. Joel said, toward the end of the movie, everyone's riffs started getting really dark. Almost like their souls were being crushed out of them.
I love that. That's good. I like that the movie should take a toll on you, I think, a little bit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Or else it hasn't really done its job. Tim, I sent you the code if you want to get in, and then we can show the audience the code after you jump in.
I put in the code, I put in my name, I'm clicking play.
You might have to pick a sound effect on your... Does it ask you to do that?
No.
Is it... What are you saying? Is it just not... Try refreshing.
I'm seeing the login.
Yeah, try refreshing. Unless you maybe put the room code where the name should go, because I do that literally every time. I know.
Is he still your favorite now?
Yeah. Unless I sent you the wrong code by some mistake. I don't think I did.
In the chat, if you are a Mystery Science Theater fan, tell us what your favorite episode is, and we shall discuss.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Perfect.
Great.
All right, now I'm going to show the audience.
And I'm going to put it in the chat, so get ready, guys. Here we go.
All right.
Apparently we didn't log into the chat, so.
Oh, no, we didn't. I mean, we can still read it. We just can't post anything.
So many logins. How do you keep
I
track of
know.
them?
Well, we don't. That's the problem. There we go. Oh, the TMP host is here with us. Somebody can't pick their sound effect. No.
How dare you?
No. We don't stop people from doing that in FitBitch 2?
I guess not. Yeah.
All right, well, you know what? Whoever has the highest score is the real Tim Ryder, and we'll get to take over Tim's life.
Well, that seems fair.
We should have told you about that before you came aboard here. So.
No, I always knew it would do this.
All right.
Let's.
I love that we're having only technical problems with the stuff that we didn't have technical problems with when we did this test. Da-da. I don't have an everybody's in. Do you have an everybody's in?
I do not have an everybody's in, so.
That's weird. Has somebody not picked their sound effect? Is that what's happening? Everybody pick your sound effects. Be a jerk.
I mean, I had to think about it for a
I know.
but it's a tough call, but you got to make a choice.
You have to look deep inside and see what sound comes to you. So,
what most represents you as a soul, as a person, temporarily existing on this earth?
Yeah, am I
art or a man screaming?
Cannonball or gunshot?
I went with man screaming because that's how I am most of the time.
I don't know. What's going on? I've never seen this before. So, what we're going to do is, we're going to try this again. And that's okay, because this time we can get somebody not named Tim Ryder, except for Tim Ryder. All right. Except do that again, because we had the code up for a second.
Oh, okay.
It was so quick that I know people are going to judge.
I know.
Absolutely. They've freeze-framed it and everything. So
People are going to freeze from that.
Meanwhile, Warren is just struggling to actually log into Twitch.
we don't know what the hell we're doing here.
I mean, yeah, as if that wasn't already abundantly clear. All right, Tim, I'm sending you.
We don't know what we're doing, but we're having a great
I mean, yeah. That's the Jackbox motto.
As long as you smile, people will allow incompetence all day. That's my motto in life.
That's why we hired you.
Yeah.
All right, I
Just
sent you
came
a
in
new
smiling.
code.
All right, got it.
Perfect. Okay. All right. People not named Tim, join this.
Yeah.
Join this room.
Stood up on you. What are you going to do now? You're going to stick with Tim Ryder? You're going to go with something new? How much do you want my life?
Fireboy.
Well, now he's got my name. All right, everybody make sure you pick your sound effect. There we go.
Got it. All right. No, but for serious, let's play a video game.
Oh, yeah.
And this is FitBitch. Do you like to party? Just curious. Looks like we have 8, which statistically means someone here is a serial killer. Good luck, everybody else. Oh, and anyone else who wants to get in can be in the audience.
That's right. We have 14 so far. Jump on in there.
Yep. Yeah, feel free to join the audience if you didn't get into the main game. Let us know if there's any audio problems. I think we should be good.
This is round 1.
Tim, have you played FitBitch before?
500 points for everyone you
I believe I've played this. It's been a little while, so my FitBitch skills might be rusty, but
It is easy as pie, but I'll just walk us through here to make sure that
just 1 defibbing per game.
I can beat you by giving you the wrong instructions.
perfect. That's what I expect.
Oh, great. Evan's trolling our own stream.
Oddly enough, the #1 single on the UK's Top 100 list in January of 2001 was blank. Now, use your device to enter a bluff that you think will fool the other players into thinking it's true. If you can't think of anything in time, use the Lie For Me button for half
Just
the
like Cookie
points.
explain.
Do it now.
All right, so enter a lie that sounds like it could be true. Oddly enough, the #1 single on the UK's Top 100 list in January 2001 was this lie that I'm writing.
Hurry, hit the lie. Okay,
Row your boat, the British Macarena.
Oh.
on your device.
Born in the USA, 3 dogs farting, the Queen of England, the theme from Bob the Builder, Let It Go from Frozen, Thriller, or just regular Macarena?
Some good ones in there.
Yeah. I'm guessing it would have to be a weird one for us to write this question.
Let's see what everybody selected.
That's a good irony one.
Yeah. Well, shit.
Good lie, though, TMP host.
Good line there, well fibbed.
That's what I went with, but no. Oh, got me, Tim.
Nicely done.
Well done there.
Bob the Builder. Wow. I did not know / remember that.
And nobody fell for some of these ingenious lies.
It wasn't Macarena or
The
British
British
Macarena?
Someone says that Cookie's voice reminds them of Dennis Miller.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, without the vocabulary, sure, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we keep his vocabulary purposely low.
James Nielsen holds the record for fastest time running a mile on a track while blank between each lap. Input your lies now.
So many possibilities.
I entered the truth.
I do like how it specifies on a track. He couldn't just run a mile.
No.
Like doing whatever activity it is.
Well, you know, maybe it wouldn't be officially true then. You have
that's true.
You can only measure it on a track. Making a cup of coffee, playing You Don't Know Jack Party, probably true. Jumping rope, drinking a beer, drinking a pint of beer, writing a haiku, eating a hot dog, drinking a shot of vodka. What is new in FitBitch 3? Asks Evan leadingly in the chat. FitBitch 3 has a really exciting feature for the audience where the audience gets to vote on their own lie and submit that. It's from decoys that we decide upon because we don't want people to be entering terrible, terrible things. But we'll give you like 3. The audience votes, and the top audience choice goes in the game. So the audience can fool people, and the players can make money fooling the audience as well.
Yay.
Also, we now are playing with a thing where likes will be worth a small amount of points. So get those likes for your like cup and maybe affect the game too. Well spotted. Well spotted.
Afterwards, he had to take an out-of-breath Elizer.
Boom.
And the rest of the board goes unselected.
I personally would love to run a mile while writing a haiku between
Yeah,
each lap.
exactly. Do you have to stop to write the haiku, or can you write it as you're running? Because I feel like that would change how hard it is.
You have to center yourself to write a proper haiku, and you can't do that while running.
Yeah, I think you are right.
Well, we ain't waiting.
Also, counting syllables is hard enough.
Well, maybe every lap, or like every step, you're sort of coming up with a syllable. Kind of like time it out.
Marion Parsons did a gut-wrenching piece called Shrapnel, during which, in front of a live audience, he blank. Write your lies now.
Good question.
Get points for being funny. I'll always win. All right, Eagle Falcon. Calm down.
Hurry, hit the live.
So, Tim, you have a show on Thursday nights, you said, at Second City in the Up Comedy Lounge?
Yeah, sure. I'm in a show called Legendary Laughs in the Up Comedy Club at Second City. It's Thursdays at 7 o'clock.
Awesome. Yeah, if you're here in Chicago, make sure you go check that out. So.
You can also catch me at I.O. on the weekends performing with groups like Musical Armando or the Improvised Shakespeare
Oh,
Company.
okay. Yeah.
I didn't know you did improvise Shakespeare.
Me
Tim.
neither.
I
That's a
haven't
great show,
been to a show for a while.
Just since the fall.
Cool. That is a very funny, very great show with a lot of incredibly talented people in it. That's my review.
We'll put it on the poster.
I
Yeah,
hope
look at
that's
that.
not
Look
true.
at that.
Oh, nicely done, Warren.
Just a whole pound of it. It was so specific.
It's going to take a long time and be terrible. This seemed true to me. Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Luckily, he still has a thick skin.
Boom.
And that's it.
I should have known that was just the kind of pretentious thing that means nothing that a performance artist would do.
That's true. It can't be anything that could be actually societally redeeming. Ate a grenade.
Wow. Fooled me.
Somebody asked, how's FitBitch 3 coming along? Is it playable? It is. It's not ready to show you guys yet, sorry. It's definitely playable. And it's fun.
All right, pick a category.
Let's go Thomas Edison.
All right.
Time to hit the road.
Road trip.
Turtle.
We're not, he might have survived.
Ford Museum in Detroit, which features a vial that oddly contains Thomas Edison's blank. Type in your lies.
Oddly contains.
Oddly.
Is FitBitch 3 going to be in the next Party Pack? Yes. FitBitch 3 will be in Party Pack 4, coming this fall. Evan Jacover also has announced Word Spud too. You have to talk to Mike Builder about that one. I'm not sure that's confirmed.
Okay, take a look and find the truth.
Deed to his light bulb. So you were talking about meeting Joel, Tim. What are some of the what is your like? Is that your best sort of meeting somebody and it turned out well? Someone you already respected and it actually worked out kind of story.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. I'll steal one from my wife because she was on set more days than I, and she actually got to meet Mark Hamill.
Oh wow, that's great.
With Luke Skywalker and voice of Joker.
Oh, that Mark Hamill.
Just in case you need clarification. Happy Star Wars.
Oh yeah, May 4th.
I'm wearing not just one, but 2 shirts.
Oh, beautiful. Oh yeah, I see. Oh, I like that one. Yeah.
That's Italian,
I guess. That's a rad shirt.
Thank you. So he did a guest spot on Mystery Science
Yeah, that was
Theater,
a funny bet.
and was just the PT mindset.
Yeah.
And was just like the nicest guy. He's like came to set in like a Hawaiian shirt and talked about going on Shout Factory and buying a couple $100 worth of Mystery Science Theater DVDs because, as he said, he wanted to have himself a Saturday.
That is the best.
Here's the question.
He was like talking to the backers and being really generous with his time and telling them that like I just told my wife what she normally does. Look at how much I saved.
So it sounds like he is also a geek, which I love. If he's buying a billion Mystery Science Theater, dude, that's great.
I'm gonna think of an answer and then
I'm trying to distract you.
Story.
Animal Kingdom.
Hope it comes out on my birthday. A party pack on my birthday and then streaming on my birthday would be amazing. When's your birthday, Tessie girl? Unless you don't want to say on the internet. I understand that.
So my favorite story that I heard about Mark Hamill is that he was doing a song as part of his little guest appearance, and it was written by like Robert Lopez, who wrote Frozen.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
It's crazy. And so he, I guess they emailed him like an MP3 of the demo so he could learn it before he came to set. And he wrote back, and apparently it was just like, "Hey guys, I'm having trouble opening the MP3. I don't know if it's my computer, my speakers. I can't get it to work, and my son's out of town. He's my tech guy, so I don't know if you could maybe messenger over a CD."
That is adorable.
I'm like, oh my god, Mark Hamill's just like a dorky dad that doesn't know how to work a computer.
That is adorable. That is super endearing.
Just like, What an amazing gentleman.
That's awesome. Well, I was going to ask.
So what?
Oh, go on.
I think I picked the wrong animal poop.
Yeah.
Did we have 2 animal poops?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. We try to catch all that programmatically in the background, but our deepest and dearest fans know how to fool the game. Tim, you can pick a category.
Let's see
if you want.
We'll just stick with this one.
Cookie beat you to it.
Not too long. Fair enough.
Henry Harrison's slogan for his 1840 presidential campaign boldly stated he was the log cabin and blank candidate. Input your lies now.
You know, I was looking through FitBitch 3 stuff, and we have a lot of president questions.
Oh,
but they're just really fun. Like, the presidents are so weird.
Yeah.
Old presidents.
Oh,
especially.
yeah.
A lot of weird stuff went on back then.
Yeah.
I feel like they're normally eccentric to begin with, and then
Yeah.
And then just couple that with the times they lived in. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they did it in the White House, whatever it was. Log cabin and log dragon. Oh, I might have to vote for that one out of sheer.
He had it on a bumper sticker for your carriage.
Yeah, right. Tim, I don't know if you want to tell any, but do you have any of the opposite story where you met someone and it was a horror show? You keep that redacted if you want.
He wasn't a horror show, but one of the most amazing celebrity interactions I've ever had was with Robert Englund, who played.
Oh no, this is going to be sad for me. I love him.
It's not sad. I love him too. Here's what happened. He came to see our show at ETC. We were like, "Oh, Freddy Krueger's here. Fun. I hope he comes back and says hi." He came back, just like waltzed into backstage. I don't know if. Like, normally we send someone out to be like, hey, the cast would like to meet you. Come back. I don't even know if anyone asked him or if he just, ran back. I think he was a little drunk and just proceeded to be like, wonderful show. I enjoyed it so much. So funny. And then, went one by one to each of us and gave us a weird combination of career advice / product.
He was like, you're very funny. You're great with characters. You're going to die in 7 days in a car accident.
It was creepy because it was coming from Freddy Krueger. He looked at me and was like, the camera loves you.
He didn't have a camera present, but he knew.
No, he looked at my friend Asher Perlman and was like, $1 million eyebrows. Looked at my friend Carissa and was like, national tour. Looked at my friend Brooke and was like, bangs, second banana.
What?
Jesus.
Bangs, second banana?
Like, cut your hair so you have bangs, and you will be a hilarious comedic sidekick.
Okay. That's insane.
And what's weird is that a lot of those things have come true.
Somebody grew bangs.
At least, I mean, Brooke at least got bangs.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's... but, you can never tell if that was... if Robert Englund interfered with the timeline through his time travel and planted the idea Inception style. We'll never know for sure.
True.
Oh, that's really funny. Okay, fine. I love the idea that he's just like, I'm the, comedy whisperer.
And then he... and then he proceeded to sign our wall and draw a pretty good Freddy Krueger face, and then vanished just as soon as he had arrived.
And that's when you got the note that Robert Englund had died the night before. That's funny.
That's true. Yeah, it was the weirdest and best.
That's really good.
Okay, what did everyone pick?
Oh, I was really hoping that would be it. That's a good lie. I think that's a real
I thought
fun.
about that one, yeah.
Mm-hmm,
oh, nope.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
I like
nice.
that. Yeah,
That's a good...
I'm going to
Yeah.
that font.
Right here. Yeah.
Oh, you got me.
I think everybody was kind of gravitating around the same joke, too. Nice.
Wow.
All right.
Was that a total guess, or did you're like, I'm a font head and a kiss head? I knew that.
Oh, yeah. That's a very thin sliver of a Venn diagram. People who love Kiss and also are huge into
I want to say we probably have someone who works here that fits that description. Well done.
Good job, TMP host.
And who got the likes cup?
Hey!
Well, that's always boring when you get it.
Oh, well.
It's like, and I guess Warren invented the game so he could win it.
That's the only reason I'm here. Is just so I can feel that validation. So,
well, glad to be helpful in that regard. Let's.
I feel very solid about my third place finish.
Yeah, I mean, that is super respectable. And the great thing about it is you can always tell people that you were the one who put TMP host in as a joke and somebody else put in Tim. And so, yeah.
That's right.
Well, cool. Anything, like, I know we talked about a couple shows you're in, like, upcoming. Was there anything specific you want to, like, plug before we get to the next game so people know where to check you out?
No, they can always find me on Twitter at Tim Ryder. You can see that on the screen there. Also, if you want to find my incredibly stupid Instagram account, I'm at Red Ryder BB Gun.
Oh,
perfect.
And I keep that account going as a multi-year-long joke about a terrible, incompetent character who can't figure out how to take pictures through the right side of his lens.
Okay, I'm definitely going to check that out.
Yeah, that sounds like my kind of meta thing.
So every single picture I take is like, oh, I'm at the Bellagio. Look at this beautiful fountain. And then it's just a picture of my face trying to take a picture. But the thing is, I'm never lying.
Oh, wow.
I'm always at those places, but I take a picture of my face.
That's great.
It's the dumbest bit, and I've kept it going now for a few years.
That's really good. I like that a lot. I also like
Thank
that in the world of the joke, the character also doesn't look at his Instagram feed to like see that that's happened.
I hashtag it Ibsagam.
Oh, good. Okay.
And then every time I post it, I like it, and then I immediately comment, bang. Like he just can't get it right.
Red Ryder BB gun. All right, I'll look that up.
Tim, one thing I was interested in, like, since you're writing on Mystery Science Theater, what was like a typical day in the writer's room? Was it like?
Yeah, was there a writer's room, or was it like done remotely, or?
Yeah.
Great question. I did it in actually a couple different ways. So the first episode that I did was The Loves of Hercules, which is episode 8, a beautiful old Sands and Peck's epic starring Mickey Hargitay and Jane Mansfield. And we did that remotely. It was through a web client. They sent us the film, and we had 2 weeks to just blanket it with as many riffs as we could. They were like, riffing is a quantity game. Just if you have a great joke, put it in. If you have a terrible joke, put that in too. If you have a half-formed joke, try to form it a little more, but then put it in. And how the client worked is just it played the movie in like a quarter of the screen. And then when you wanted to put something in, you pause the movie and just put your riff in as a comment on the side, much like a Twitch stream or this live stream that we're doing. And it would timestamp it.
That's smart.
Wow.
You describe it as best you can in written form. If it's like using this kind of voice or doing this sort of impression or this emotion, whatever you needed to do to get your joke across. And then they would just aggregate all the riffs from a particular timestamp. Joel liked to remove the name, so he didn't know who wrote what.
Yeah, that's smart.
And then they just built the script from there. So we had people doing it from all across the country. And you could do it at your own pace. You could do it on your own time, just an hour here and an hour there, because it's a 70-minute movie, and it takes a long time to get through because you're pausing and rewinding and thinking of stuff and seeing if it fits in this space, because they were pretty adamant about not talking over dialogue in this season. So like if you had a riff, you had to fit it into a gap between the dialogue. So sometimes you thought of a thing and then had to edit it down and see if it fit. And so it's time consuming, but it was also really, really fun.
Yeah.
You have this incredibly beautiful movie, but it just super hammy and overacted. You always sort of have a prompt to go off of. You were never just staring at a blank page thinking, what should I write? You're always just looking at the screen, listening to the dialogue, trying to catch stuff in the background. and then riffing off of that. So it was super fun.
That's my favorite kind of episode too, where it's like, yeah, the movie basically hangs together, but everybody is just really acting way too much. Like that's like the prototypical MST3K. But that's really cool. So I guess they built something custom that did all that for them, I imagine.
It's actually a web program. I think I can talk about it. I don't think it's proprietary. It's called Collaborate, which I think is collaborate with a K because it's on the internet. And I think it was made as sort of a way to do comments on like short films or commercials or things like that.
Oh, like if you were making an advertisement and you had notes about it, that kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we were really pushing the platform to its limit. Like our production people had to get in touch with those the people who made it and be like, "Hey, we're not getting all of our comments." And they were like, "Yeah, it's actually maxes out at I think 100 or 200 comments per video." And we were like, cool. Some of our people are writing 700 to 800. So we're going to need you to blow that out for us. And they did. And it worked really well.
That's really cool.
And then the other way that I did it, they pulled me into a live riffing room for Cry Wilderness. And so I would just Skype in to a session every morning for a couple hours where Joel and some producers and a couple writers were in just outside of Philadelphia. And then Leslie, another writer, was Skyping in from Boston. And Joel would just play the movie and share his screen and then pause it. And we'd all just shout stuff out.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and Leslie would type everything down, and we'd just sort of bounce off each other and try to make each other laugh, which was super fun and a little bit more pressure because if you missed something, you couldn't really go back.
Right. Yeah.
But really fun to just sort of build off each other's ideas, and you say something that maybe isn't quite the joke, but inspires somebody else, and it's much more collaborative and really exciting. And with Cry Wilderness, we really needed it because we sort of by the end of it, we were like grizzled war veterans, like, oh boy, it's some more stock footage of animals. Here we go. Buckle down, everybody.
I definitely noticed too, like the point about the like Cry Wilderness is a good example. I think that there's like there aren't dead spots of riffing, which is crazy for how many dead spots there are in that movie. Like there's a lot of just sort of like pensive shots of deer, but like there's always a joke, which is great.
Yeah.
And also just talking about like not talking over the characters. It seems like the pace to make that happen is faster, but I love it. It's like pretty cool and rapid fire.
Yeah, I think they made that choice to allow people to keep track of the movie a little bit better, I think, which I agree. I think it's better when you can sort of keep a handle on what's going on, which in Cry Wilderness is a real feat. But yeah, there were stretches sometime where eventually they built a little tool where in the lower left-hand corner would pop up a little timer of like how long this gap is between dialogue. So you had like 4 seconds or 8 seconds until the next person talked. Yeah. And we would get to some of those bits in Cry Wilderness where it'd be like 1 minute and 40 seconds until the next line of dialogue. And the rest is just stock footage of the deer. So we're like, all right, here we go. We better come up with some overarching framework.
Yeah, we've written a short play. That's funny. Well, cool. Let's obviously keep chatting, but let's switch over and play some Drawful 2, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Have you played Drawful, Tim? Okay.
Yes, I have.
Always happy to give people the rundown, but give you as much.
This is, let's see. I have a question from the Twitch stream. Did you write it? This is Nuggets asked. Did you write a joke that you really liked that didn't?
That's a great question.
In? Yeah, a ton. I mean, I wrote so many riffs, and I was happy if I got a dozen into a 70-minute movie. I mean, there were a ton of people writing riffs on these things, and so there were a few that I was real proud of. And then there was one in The Loves of Hercules. There's a bit where there's like this weird stone face that keeps popping up.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And every time it popped up, I made a Legends of the Hidden Temple reference because it looked like Olmec. And I was so pumped about it, and it didn't land. It didn't go.
Did you blame the like relative age group of like the rest of the writers? Where you're like, you guys don't get it. If you were there,
I wish I could. I wish I could, but then they made a Legends of the Hidden Temple joke in Cry
Oh
Wilderness.
yeah.
Because like the Bigfoot den looked like an abandoned Hidden Temple.
Right. So they were just like, your Hidden Temple reference isn't the right one. Let us handle this.
It was.
Well, that I appreciate it retroactively.
Thank you.
All right, I'm sending you the code, Tim.
There
Sorry.
it is.
Yeah, do you find like you'll never probably watch these movies ever again after sitting through them so much, or so many times, I should say?
Yeah, I'm glad that we, like, the first thing we did when we got assigned Cry Wilderness and Loves of Hercules was just to watch them straight through, just to get a sense of the movie as a whole. And I was like, oh boy, we're really in for it now.
Because I feel like I've heard Kevin Murphy say he hates Manos, The Hands of Fate.
Well,
it was terrible to begin with, and he's seen it so many times.
Now they've seen it 1,000 times. Yeah, I don't blame them.
So I could see something like that being like, oh yeah, the riff has a special place in my heart, but I'm sure you probably never want to.
I guess to that question, like, what movie scarred you the most?
Boy, well, I mean, we didn't even watch this one without the riffs, but just last night we watched The Christmas That Almost Wasn't.
That's a weird one.
Oh boy, that is so creepy.
There's something uniquely creepy about like an Italian movie dubbed over with English. And I think I read that most of the actors were actually speaking English, they just didn't record sound on set. So like everything just feels slightly off and like fake, and it's like a little bit terrifying.
Mm-hmm. And just the plot of it to be like Santa's having problems with his landlord.
Right.
So he hires a lawyer, and then they both get jobs.
Yeah, and there's not a magical solution. They're just like, we have to earn some money here.
That's Dickens, right?
Yeah, it's Dickens.
All right, special weird shout out to Tom Ryder who joined the game, and that is my dad's name.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to assume your dad is watching, and anything Tom Ryder does, I'm going to imagine in my head.
100%, my dad loves watching Twitch.
Hey, it's Grapple time. We've got a full boat with 8 players. Let's do this. All right. If you look at your devices right now, you can see a secret prompt just for you. Things that are kind of weird. Like
Also another question from This Is Nuggets here. Did you write jokes with specific characters in mind? Like Jonah over the bots?
No.
And when you're done,
well, I'll take that back. When we, yeah, sometimes you would write something that would kind of be like, oh, I can hear Servo saying this, or like, this is a crow joke. But we were encouraged just to write jokes, and then they would sort of go through and assign.
Makes sense.
don't forget, you can still join the audience and play along by going to jackbox.tv and entering.
Boy, I regret choosing to do this with a mouse.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I should have warned you about that. No, I think it's going to be all the perfecter because of that.
Yep, you're welcome.
Do.
Yeah, that's one thing I've just always assumed about Mystery Science Theater and those. It's like, I'm sure it's just a volume game, like you said. It's like, throw as much as you can at it.
I have to imagine.
Yeah.
It really is all about shots on goal, because especially in those long action sequences, especially towards the end of the movie, people get tired, people get bored, and their riffs just sort of peter out. So they're like, pay special attention to those areas and just give us a ton to work with. If you have an idea for a longer framing device, like this happens that we can get a bunch of riffs out of, make a note of that.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of old Mystery Science Theaters that come out of the gate hot, and you can tell like the writers were over the movie over the final 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, and I feel like that is less of a problem this season, which is fun. I feel like I noticed a lot in this season that there'll be a little more sort of elaborate, like, oh, they do like symbols in the theater, or they do, like something fun with Servo flying around. I feel like those tend to be for those moments, right, where there's not a lot going on.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that I love about this season is that we have these sort of new visual gags and different types of jokes that we can tell, so we can mix it up a little bit more. Having all those different sort of joke types in our joke belt.
Yeah.
Pick the real title and avoid all the
Yeah,
garbage
I think
everyone
Crow smashing the bottle in Reptilicus just killed me.
That's pretty great. So are we looking at perpendicular to the cheese, this way to cheese, head right for cheese, just detour, food in a mirror, smuggling cheese, which is a euphemism you don't want to hear about, a cheesy turn, or just cheese, ...
Just tap
I'm going to vote for smuggling cheese.
Oh. And here are your picks.
Remember, you can always join the audience by going to jackbox.tv, entering that room code in the upper left there, DTYK. Cheesy turn is that sounds like not a Dr. Seuss so much, but some kind of kid's book, maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking Agatha Christie. Maybe.
Oh, sure, Agatha
In
Christie.
her early days.
Yeah, before she figured out the mystery part of it. Smuggling cheese?
I'm so glad. I'm just glad that almost everyone got it.
Yeah.
I'm going to consider that a victory.
Well, you know, it's like most cheese have sort of like a treble clef on the lower right. It's just regular cheese.
Tuba players have the bass clef cheese.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So.
Type in
Question, is there a date for Party Pack 4, and are there any other revamps beside FitBitch? I don't think we're not talking about any other games yet, so I just don't want to say anything because the other directors probably want to keep some secrets right now. But there's not a date but fall. And, you know, I don't have a date. I'm not keeping any secrets. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would imagine it would be around, you know, we launched around October before. I don't know if we will again, but it's around that time frame. So
Just always be aware in the autumn. We're usually around that time.
Right. When the wind changes and you smell the smells of fall, you'll know to expect us.
The wind will whisper Jackbox.
Right.
here are your choices.
Lowenstein. Peanut liqueur, or liquor, I guess. Cello in a blender. Peanut juice, gravy juice, smelting a violin. That's the one I'm not even reading the other ones. Beef smoothie, there's a guitar in my drink, and potato juice. A lot of beef smoothie is definitely and also a euphemism for something. I don't want to think too long about what it might be.
Okay, who picked what?
When can we expect FitBitch to be on a live stream? Sooner than fall. We'll definitely play it before it comes out. I don't have a date in mind, but
Yeah.
you know, could be as soon as within a month or so. We'll
Could
be
be
ready
right
to show.
now.
It could be
It's
right
not,
now. It's not.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
No, I'm excited to show people, and I'm also excited to get you guys' input as we're still sort of tweaking it. So I definitely want to put on the stream. It's a good prompt if it's true. No, that's good. Good lie. Love the sound effects in this game. Josip claims people didn't look at the drawing long enough. Which, you know, come on, Josip, you got to draw better then.
Really get into the intricacies.
Beef smoothie. I guess it sort of looks like a steak, right?
Eh,
Okay.
I think smelting a violin.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer that one. The incredible Tom Ryder is in the lead.
Wow. No votes for cello in a blender. Message to Steve.
Yeah, we liked that, but we have a different idea of how it should go.
We treat our guests horribly around
Yeah,
here. so
exactly.
I get it.
There's a drinking glass for Dad, and then drinking glasses that the rest of the family use. My house was kind of like that. I understand.
Boy.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of this one. Yeah.
There. So, this comic book is just for adults. How about that? I'm gonna turn that off.
No, it's great though.
Okay. Sell children make money. My stepdad has 3 other families. Dad's
my God.
filing cabinet. That's the euphemism of the day. 1 kid, 2 kids, green woman, dark green man. Good. Daddy issues, family math. Drinking made me single. And husband typist. I'm gonna have to go with drinking made me single.
And here are your picks.
Tim, if your dad's named Tom Ryder, do you have brothers named like Tam Ryder, Term Ryder?
No, my wife calls me Tam Roder
Nice.
sometimes. No, my brother's name is Josh.
Gotta keep that alliteration going.
Yeah, we're into
All
it.
right. I think if you win this game of Drawful, you should be legally allowed to change his name to any T name that you choose.
Don't think that's going to be a problem.
Is that like issues of a newspaper?
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I love that Alex is playing. I just noticed that. Unless that's somebody else appropriating his username. All right. Didn't get that one at all. Now here we go. Here's a drawing.
Oh, wow.
Oh, boy.
There's some perspective. At least I think so. Otherwise, it could just be...
Could be perspective a couple ways.
Yeah, it's giving me a lot of life perspective.
Oh, it's one of those things where I see a face or two faces.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's the other way
If you
around.
turn... Right. No, yeah.
MC Escher is in the audience today, so yeah.
If you turn it sideways, it becomes copyright infringement.
That's right.
Newspapers?
Hey, I'm serious.
No one's really explaining this to me. You played 20 rounds of Murder Party?
Oh, wow.
Wow. Two-legged dingo, public domain Pepe Le Pew. Pretty good. Fox skunk, sexy skunk, pretty skunk, female skunk, sniffing fox, pompadour hedgehog.
Pick something.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Also the name I used to check into hotels.
And here are your picks.
It's a good one, though. Yeah, nice.
Thank
Nice.
you.
Really? You find that sexy? I don't know.
Oh, I cannot get up for a while, let me tell you that.
No, I see sex and everything.
Yeah.
No, nicely done, Warren. So it's like turned?
Yeah, I was running
Okay.
out of space with my
No,
big fingers.
I get it. I totally get it. He's just missing some back legs.
Yeah. Well, he was in the war. so,
Oh, that's terrible to learn.
I'm not going to apologize for being one of the vast members of the American population that finds skunks sexy. Not just pretty.
We're called skunkers.
We meet every Friday.
It's very strenuous. The audience can't win in FitBitch 3. We talked about giving the audience a score. It didn't seem fair because the audience is playing a totally different game practically, having so many people. And also they were using all our baked-in lies. So it's not quite the same game, so we didn't want them to be on the scoreboard with the other people. So the audience doesn't get a score, but they can vote for the truth, just playing along, and therefore giving points to the people who wrote the lies, like Quiplash works. And the players can get extra points for fooling the audience as well. But we're hoping that it's fun to just be like, we're going to throw in an extra lie and throw off the players and be smart about it.
I like Recorder Cult.
Recorder Cult, Tiny Oboe Band, Flute Quartet, Flute Band, Nothing But Woodwinds, College Flute Band, Tom Ryder's Wallpaper, and Flute Party, very popular choice. Good job,
That's a good one.
Microphone K ... No comment on that one. It's pretty good.
I was in a recorder cult for a
Oh
little
no!
while.
How did you get out?
Yeah, in fifth grade.
Oh, I
ended.
see.
Dylan Barnes wants to know if there's more questions than in FitBitch 2. Yeah.
I think so. So we haven't finalized content, but there should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see the bags under my eyes. They're definitely
Yeah,
more
yeah,
so.
yeah.
Type in
Ooh.
the title now.
No, I don't want a tooth with my hamburger, sir.
Oh. Quick, type in anything.
The suspense is killing me here.
Here are your choices.
On a diet, no burger, no apple, no service. That's pretty good. Not hungry. F you, food. I hate burgers, hunger strike, fasting, nothing.
Tim, were you at the Music Box premiere of Reptilicus a couple months ago? Okay.
I sure was. Yeah,
Yeah.
back in February. That was a real fun time. It was maybe the closest thing that we'll ever get to a red carpet.
That was great, yeah.
That's so awesome.
No, it was super fun. Yeah, just so great to meet so many people, and just I was so excited to see the episode because I hadn't seen the finished
Oh, really?
product yet.
Okay.
So to see it all come together.
Well, what was it like
super
seeing it the
fun.
first time in such a big, like, theatrical setting? That's got to be cool.
It was great because I think Mystery Science Theater is always better with
Yeah.
other people watching it with a group.
Yeah.
And so to watch it with such a big group was so fun and such a relief. Like I wasn't super worried that it wasn't going to be good just because of the ones that I had written on and the stuff that I had seen. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. But then to see it with all these people and to hear them actually laugh and then to hear their feedback and questions after the show was like, okay, I can breathe a little easier now.
Yeah.
Like people are really going to like
Yeah,
this.
that's awesome. I had tickets to go to that.
Oh, that's right,
And I
yeah.
got food poisoning, and I was sick that whole day, and it was real bad.
That's the
It
saddest.
was the worst. But
I went and had a great
But
time.
yeah, you went.
Yeah.
I gave my ticket to someone. I guess I won't say. I'm not sure I was supposed to do that, but I did it, and they said it was great. But so that was unfortunate. But then when I finally got to see it when you came out a little bit earlier for backers, which I was one, it was a big relief. I was like, oh, this is so great.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
And here are your choices.
Smelting pot, stew for violence. Stew, a clean bath, cake pranks. Cake pranks is a new show we're working on here. Boiling soup, mud bath, magic stew, or it's a stew. Say.
Yeah, I was amazed with the fans. Like, there were people that brought, like, as I've seen before, like the crow robots, and
Yeah.
there must have been a dozen servos there. Yeah, it's pretty great.
I've long been thinking, like, I need to get a kit and build myself a servo. I actually had
And here are
in
your picks.
middle school and high school, because I was real cool, I started collecting servo parts, and I have 2 of the gumball machines, because you need the 2, the
Yeah.
cap and everything. And I have a couple other parts, but I never got everything. That was when getting the, like, repro parts was a lot harder, so, like, that, you know, the barrel and everything, you couldn't get it. Now you can just get molds of everything, but...
People can 3D print their
Exactly.
own
It's
servos
crazy.
now,
Yeah.
With sentience.
probably. Which leads to some not
It's
great
terrible. You're
situations.
going to have to put your servo down eventually. That's the sad thing.
Now, were you part of writing the segments in between the movies as well, like with the?
They would give us prompts. Like they basically came up with the concepts of what the host segment was going
Yeah.
to be, and would ask us for
Your titles.
joke
Okay.
ideas, like Tom and Crow are having a philosophical discussion about the ethical ramifications of heroes killing monsters. What kind of things could they talk about? Like, what kind of points could they make on either side? What jokes could they do? That kind of
Gotcha.
stuff.
That makes sense.
Yeah. That song in the first episode, I think, is really amazing too. So.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's the
Yeah.
best.
It really is. I've always liked Paul and Storm, who I think did that one.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a Paul and Storm
So
creation.
good.
Here are your choices.
We got a chance to meet them on Magic Tavern, actually. It was really great.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome, and I think I've heard more than one person say that was a turning point of like, okay, I have nothing to worry about. Like this is gonna be
now we're in.
great.
Yeah, and as Jonah likes to tell, that's the very first thing they filmed.
Really?
On the first day, it's like, really, guys, we can't work up to this.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
and they got it in like a reasonably short amount of time. It was maybe like 5 or 6 takes.
That's funny.
I think that's one thing he definitely brings to the show is like he has a little bit of just rhythm and stuff like that. So like when they do musical jokes, he can actually pull it off and things like that. So
he said it was kind of like being on the set of a old-time variety show. Like he's Sid Caesar coming out and like he has to do a song now, and now he has to do some close-up magic. And I was gonna do an impression, and it was just like, and we were shooting so quickly. Like we shot all of those host segments in about 6 or 7 days.
Oh wow, that's surprising. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, we were doing 30 or 40 pages of dialogue a day.
Wow,
man.
You know what they say? People in glass pants should not pass.
That's impressive. I mean, it's got to be intimidating for one thing to come into a show with such a history, but then with that type of demand,
and then to have that timeline.
Yeah, it was crunch. I mean, Mystery Science Theater has a lot of things going for it in that sense, in that it's a pretty static camera. It's all direct to camera, so people were mostly reading their lines off a prompter.
Hey, you won the most likes,
And,
Tim.
Hey.
I'm not going to win the points, but I'm going to get Mr.
You know, some people view the likes as the real goal. You know, because people.
That's how I choose to play.
If you hit the gallery button on your device, you can look at all the drawings, tweet them out, and do some fun stuff with them.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I cut you off, Tim?
No, not at all. Yeah, we're talking about how quickly we shot. So yeah, a lot of people were just, would read their lines off the prompter, and we do a few takes of it. But yeah, we're scooting along pretty quick. So you got to make sure that you get your stuff in good first time, or else you might not get a second chance.
Yeah, which actually is it. I guess I noticed that sort of like loose feel to it of that the original show had, which is great. Of sort of like, well, we're gonna do this all in one take, and here we go. Which I think is kind of key.
Yeah, Jonah a couple times would be like, "Oh, I need to do that again. I kind of flubbed my line," and they were like, "Sorry, buddy, the puppets were."
That's hilarious. Oh, that's awesome. Well, cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on. This was great.
Yeah. Do you want to?
My pleasure.
Yeah, you're great, Tim. We want to have you back. Well, we'll try to have you back when we go to the new space and we have a little bit more nicer of a setup, hopefully as well. I know. We might even be able to have physical guests in here at some point.
Don't go crazy.
No, I just thought. But do you want to remind people where they can see your stuff as we close out here?
Absolutely. The new season of Mystery Science Theater 3000 can be found on Netflix, all 14 episodes currently streaming. And then you can see me live in Chicago at the Legendary Laughs at Second City and the Up Comedy Club on Thursday nights, on the weekends with Musical Armando and Improvised Shakespeare Company.
Awesome.
At I.O. Chicago.
I can definitely vouch for Tim's hilarity, and I can definitely vouch for Improvised Shakespeare. I've never seen the two together on one stage, and now I have to go.
It might be too much.
I'm probably going to, that's how I'm going to die. And that's how I wanted to die. Well, cool.
And to be fair, that's how Robert Englund predicted it.
He looked at you and he's like, "You're going to kill a man." You're like, well, cool.
I will bear that.
Yeah, exactly. It was all worth it. Well, thanks so much, Tim. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for putting up with our tech hiccups. And yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
No worries. Thanks so much for having me.
I'm going to take you down here to Paradise City. Oh yeah, wave as I figure it out. Wave,
wave yourself out of the camera.
Bye, Tim. I don't know who that was, but he was great.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Very nice guy. Yeah.
We do want to quickly say before we close out, we're going to do a special stream next week.
Yeah.
Which is going to be only on Facebook Live. I don't know if I guess we'll do it on our Thursday stream, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next Thursday stream won't be on Twitch. It'll be on Facebook Live. We'll tweet out some stuff. The reason we're doing that is because we want to test it and see if Facebook Live works and if it's an interesting venue for us to do things on.
Exactly. Yeah. We're going to try to do some different things on our stream that aren't necessarily revolving around guests and always playing games, but some other things that are just as fun for you guys to partake in. So.
Yeah. And it may as always, just not work.
It's probably going to be terrible because we're involved. So.
Exactly.
But yeah, we're just going to try to do more things. So,
yeah, so we won't be on Twitch, but follow us on Facebook. Just look up Jackbox
Yeah.
Games, and that way you'll get a notification. We'll also tweet it out so people know. Follow us on Twitter, too, at Jackbox Games.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
then-
you know, we don't know how often we'll go back and forth between Facebook and other things, but just sort of a thing to try.
Yeah, we're just trying it out, see what works, see what doesn't. Tomorrow, I have not heard back from Ben.
Oh, yeah.
Keep your eyes open tomorrow around this time. I'm trying to get people to come on the stream, a Friday stream, and play like Mario Kart or something with their Switches. So.
Which we've been doing in the office.
Yeah, and I'm like, why don't we put this on the
Right.
stream? Because it's really fun. So
Right.
Yeah.
Which we were going to do maybe Wednesday, and I was like, I can't have time to set that up, Warren. I'm playing Mario Kart.
He hit me in the
I
face.
smacked him. Yeah, so
And that was
hopefully
before the conversation started.
Yeah, that's how I start every conversation. Yeah, so hopefully we'll do that tomorrow, and we can see how many people we can cram in this room, too. to
Yeah,
play.
so just keep your eyes open, probably around 3 or 4 o'clock. We'll tweet
Yep.
ahead of time, so yeah.
Yep.
So
Okay, thanks so much for joining us,
Yeah,
everybody,
thank
as
you, guys.
always. And we'll see you again
Yep, have a great rest of
next
your day.
week. Dun, 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 dun.
Bye.
This is where like a producer would have already queued this up while I was talking. I should have just sort of like
No,
made
no,
you
it's
fill
fine.
for
I'll just
time.
wave. I'll just wave.
Bye.